Hey folks, Dale McRae again at the world famous Dublin Arcade. Yes, I'm going to talk about Pinwoofer's PixlWav or PixlWave or however you want to say it. I just call them speaker light kits. And you saw my other video of the ones inside Venom. I kind of jumped to the end and just showed you the output because actually there's not, I mean, it's not super exciting to see the detail of it, but so you asked for it, so here we go. I'm going to show the expression light kit, which I'm going to put into my Foo Fighters later today. And here we go. So the kit comprises of these kind of light shades that go on the front of the speaker panel. So if you look at the Avengers in the background, where that yellow is where you would see these. Then you have these beautifully made. These are fantastic. I really like these speaker light PCBs. As you can see, the PCB is the LED is mounted on the PCB. There's no kind of cheap Chinese sort of knockoff. Well, not knockoff because they don't knock them off, but you know what I mean. The cheap kind of strands or cables or trunks of LEDs that you just buy in cables, and this goes on like that. And like the other speaker, like you put them on top, and then you actually put the original gasket from Stern on top, which is a bit different from other speaker lights. Then you've got some of these other pieces, and I'm going to jump to this piece first. Let me just take it out of the bag. This is the controller board I was talking to, and you can kind of daisy chain them together. That's what the Ethernet cable's for. So you've got the source there, so you can either have something plugged in. There's a little switch there you might see. You can either have something plugged in, which is the typical LED controllers. It's got the 3 pins that they all have, or you can flick to Ethernet, and the inputs, the input will come from the Ethernet, and that could be daisy chained input, or it could be from expression light kits. Yeah, pretty cool. So that's the board that they all come with, and then for the expression light kit, you have this board as well. And I haven't read the manual as to where this connects, but I guess the Ethernet bit goes back to the main board, the other board I just saw, and the pins here must go to the expression light kit system in some way. Dan sends out the instructions with the kit, so I mean, if I can do it, honestly, anyone can do it. It's insanely simple, but I love the little 3D printed PCB holders. They're really neat. I've got one. Could do something like that for the Stern LVDS mod. Please, Stern, release your HDMI mod. Then you got a few cables, an Ethernet cable to connect them up, and a power supply. Actually, folks in Europe, Dan doesn't support. He hasn't got a solution for Europe yet with 220, 240 volts. So I'm actually using external power in. So this power supply is just a figure of eight. It's a multi-voltage figure of eight system. So I'm just using a figure of eight cable out the back into another socket. Not an ideal way of doing it, but I've got my games on Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi on and off, so it does for that. So I'm going to install this kit. Install this kit on Foo Fighters and get it wired up to the expression light kits. In the US, you grab off the dollar bill, the 110 volt dollar bill with this cable that's included. And yeah, that's the only thing. The boards are plus 5 volts, which I don't think there's any Stern device that does plus 5 volts on any of the boards. So you do have to use this power adapter, which is a bit of a shame, but there's ways around that. We'll figure that out. Anyway, speak to you shortly when I've installed this in Foo Fighters.